Greetings, welcome to the channel, I'm eddiesetgo, and today we're here at Motorcycle Live to see all the latest bikes, new exciting machinery, to see what's in store for us in 2022. So here we have the brand new Hayabusa from Suzuki, rebuilt. And what I do like about the Hayabusa is, despite being all rebuilt and everything, it's still got those traditional analog clocks at the front. That's really cool, so you can see those dials spinning up as you hit the limiters. And what Suzuki have done is, just behind the brand new Hayabusa, they have the original right here. Look at this. There's a new one. And there's the original. One of the things I love about coming to these shows is not just the new bikes you see, but also the classic bikes. And this bike for me is one of my favorites from when I was a kid. The Suzuki RGV 250, that two-stroke. I remember seeing one tearing up the roads in Lincolnshire, just flying past the car which I was sat in the back in, and whoever was riding it was having so much fun on this bike. And I think at the time it was a battle between the RGV 250 and the Aprilia RS 250. Yeah, look at that, that's a classic, that is. Quick plug to the MotoGP series and Dram Mir's championship winning Suzuki. Look at that. Now here we have a bike which I was really excited about when Suzuki released and announced this machine, the Katana. And it's a kind of a bike which kind of goes under the radar in terms of all the reviews online and the attention, but it is a very unique looking machine. We've got some real classic kind of retro styling on the Katana, but this thing puts out about 150 brake horsepower, 109 odd newton meters of torque. It is a bike that can certainly go, and it's got all the tech on it. It's got some Brembo calipers at the front there, got some adjustables at the front as well. What do you think? I do love the colour scheme. I'm not too keen on this matte blue finish, but this, certainly the grey, the shiny grey with the red wheels, really does pop. It is a bike of interest, the Suzuki v-strom. So this is a two-cylinder 645 650cc twin for £8,000 from Suzuki, and there's a whole row of them here in different colours and garbs, and this one here at the end we have it fully accessorised. This one has about £3,000 worth of accessories onto it. You see we've got the engine bars here, we've got these awesome metal panniers. A capable looking machine. This kind of puts it in the ballpark of the Yamaha Tracer, the Tracer 7. Has a very similar capacity and performance. It puts out about 70 brake horsepower. You can see where Suzuki have perhaps made some budget choices. We've got kind of this analog clock here. It's a little bit dated, I'd say, slightly on the front dash, especially when Yamaha have got more digital LCD TFT displays now with splashes of colour in, just to give the cockpit where the rider's sitting a bit more of a fanciful view. But it does look like a very capable machine. So here we have the 650 version of the v-strom, and let's just bring it across, and we have its bigger brother, bigger sister, the 1050. Now this certainly looks rugged. Got these gigantic front forks here, all the guards around it. This particular model is also obviously draped in all the accessories, and got a bit more of a up-to-date high-tech looks like a TFT display at the front there. LED lighting going on as well. So this particular v-strom, the touring version, it comes with all of the accessories laid in, so £13,000 gets you this one, and that's quite a good deal actually. I'm a big fan of the middleweight nakeds, and here we have the Suzuki GSX S950. So this is Suzuki's Lita naked machine. It certainly stands out. I'm not too sure about this stacked front headlamps and this kind of this texture here. You can just see where the Suzuki logo is embossed into it, and it kind of follows through on the frame here. In terms of price, I think we're looking at about £10,000 for this bike here, just over £10,000, which pushes it just beyond price of like the MT-09 from Yamaha. But yeah, from a distance it has quite a nice profile. I quite like that. And here's another bike I'm quite a fan of. This is the CBR 650R from Honda. I have done a quick test ride on this bike, the previous gen of the CBR 650R on the channel. This particular new one comes with updated showers and a bit of revised styling, but yeah, this is entering quite a competitive market now. You've got the Yamaha R7, obviously the new kid on the block, so the CBR 650R certainly has its work cut out for it, but it does have a very competitive price point for £8,000. You get quite a spirited, exciting, and you know it's a Honda, it's just going to go for miles and miles and miles and just keep going, so you can't go wrong with one of these machines. And it does look like a little mini Fireblade, doesn't it? Look how cool it looks. I like that. A bike that needs no introduction, the Fireblade from Honda. A bike designed to do only one thing and go as fast as possible. Comfort, forget about it. Now this is definitely a bike worthy of a mention, the CB125R. So for those riders out there looking to get onto your first bike, for about £4,000, just over £4,000, and you have this wonderfully put together 125 single cylinder. I've not actually ridden one myself, but the press feedback is that this is a very sublime ride for an entry-level, first bike. You get this awesome LED daytime running light style headlamp at the front, nice gold forks. It does look like a really well put together machine, and it has the same matte blue paint finish that the bigger 650 has. Another cutting edge Honda worthy of a mention is the Monkey. Just shy of £4,000, gets you this 125, pushing out a phenomenal, gut-wrenching 7 brake horsepower. Let's look at how well it's put together though. This is an awesome little 125, but the quality, this is all metal down here. This is all metal and it just looks so solid. You just know this thing is going to go. Really well put together machine. Foreground, it's got these big chunky tyres as well, so you know it's just going to eat up whatever you throw at it. Anybody watching have a Monkey? Drop a comment below. How many miles have you done on it? So we just looked at the standard Fireblade. This is the SP version, a few more grand. And the SP does come with a decorative pillion handle. But just look at this, you can just see the dash is all lit up. I do love the attention to detail. Look at the quality of finish on these switch gears. Little tiny buttons, but they feel awesome when you're using them. Fully semi-active suspension here as well, electronically adjustables. Wow. I do love that vintage looking, that classic looking colour scheme on this Fireblade SP. So here we have another personal favourite of mine from the Honda range, which I'm hopefully due to test ride in 2022, the CB1000R. Such a beautiful inline 4, 1000cc, putting out about 143 brake horsepower. So it doesn't put it in the super naked category, but there's certainly plenty of go in this machine, which is essentially a stripped back Fireblade. I do love the styling. Got that single-sided swing arm. We've also got that updated daytime running light for this year over the previous gen. It's kind of almost like a teardrop front headlamp, replacing the plain round one, which I wasn't quite a big fan of actually. Just swung my leg over the CB1000R. It's actually quite a slim profile bike. I think the previous CB had quite stocky shoulders from coming around the radiator, but now it's quite a slim profiled bike. Here we have Fireblades through the years. This little display here today by Honda. Fireblades through the years. When I was growing up as a kid, when I was like 15 years old, these are the bikes that would be rocketing down the street and carving up through the countryside. You'd hear them. Beautiful bike. Again, this one in Urban Tiger was my personal favourite. And I do believe we have an Urban Tiger. I don't think it's the classic one, but it's this one here, which I think was a few years ago. I love that paint scheme. Look at that. But yeah, that is a iconic bike. And here we have Honda's definitive all-terrain motorcycle, the Africa Twin. I love the daytime. Look at that face. This is a bike that is equipped to tackle all. It's 1100cc twin, putting out about 100 brake horsepower. All the torque. Yes, that's really cool. This is the kind of bike that's going to be going up and competing with the new Triumph Tiger 1200 Rally. And here is a bike that I am super excited about and I would love to ride at some point in the near future. This is the brand new Ducati Monster. I think it looks awesome. It looks so slim profile now. We've gone from having that stocky muscle Monster Roadster and now we've got this slimline leaning machine from Ducati. Just about £11,000 for this this red version you're seeing on the screen now. £11,000. So you're looking at about 930cc twin, pushing out about 111 brake horsepower. This is very much putting it in the same ballpark as the Yamaha MT-09. The Street Triple from Triumph. It's a hugely competitive segment now, the middleweight naked. And I think Ducati really do have a winner by the look of this bike. And I love the way the indicators are kind of designed into the frame. It's all so slim profile. And it's A2 friendly, as you can see from the sticker. Another bike always worthy of a mention is the Super Sport from Ducati, and I'm surprised I don't see more of these bikes around because it's such an appealing bike in terms of being sporty, but also comfortable. It kind of has that Panigale front end, you know, which has been slightly refreshed for this year. But what you get is a bike that is super comfortable to ride, but it has that sporty edge to it. This particular S model, which is kitted out with all the Olins and the Brembos. Look at that. This is about £15,000, so it does come with a bit of a hefty price tag. But it certainly looks stunning. It really does look stunning. You just see this chap now jumping on the bike. You can see how upright the bike is. The handlebars are more tapered upright and back towards the rider. It's a bit more practical. The practical sports bike. Ducati Street Fighter V4S for you in winter test livery, all for £28,000, 208 brake horsepower. Goodness me. Look at this, what a stunning bike. Carbon fibre, we've got this carbon fibre rear wheel here. Got the carbon fibre winglets. It's a stunning bike, semi-active suspension. Ah. So here we have the stroke of genius marketing from Ducati, which is the Scrambler. Such a cool bike, which has been steadily refined over the years now. This is the, I think this is the Tribute Pro. It's a bit like the flat track. And then across here we have this motard version, which has these more slicker tyres. This more slicker tired version with a higher mudguard. It looks so cool. I love this. The urban motard, they call it. I do love that. And just look down here. Look at this detailing down here. These braided hoses. I was really considering a scrambler for my next bike before I got my M209 SP. Who knows what the future might hold, but I love just the unique coolness of this bike. Just giving a quick mention here, so this is the Lexmoto stage. Obviously Lexmoto providing much more entry-level and budget-friendly machinery, but it's so popular. And this particular one right in front of me now, the LXR 125, I think is the biggest selling sports bike here in the UK. So forget your Fireblades and forget all your Ducatis. This is the biggest selling sports bike, I do believe, last year anyway. And we do see a lot of these around on the UK roads. And it looks awesome, look at it. It looks really cool. It's like a little mini CBR 650R, and all four, get this, the price tag, all four, £2,800. So you get this awesome looking sporty bike. Has a bit of a Hayabusa kind of paint scheme going on here. Less than £3,000 and you get this really cool looking bike, and I do see a lot of these bikes around on the roads. So we've looked at the Africa Twins already, premium bikes, but this is something a little different. This is a brand called Vosges, which is affiliated with Lexmoto, and £5,400, a 500cc twin by the look of it. But for £5,000 you get LED tech on the lighting, these bars, we've got Nissan calipers as well. I love the rear brake light system. Look at that, look how trick it looks. So £5,000 for this multi-spoked 500 twin from Vosges. Let's say if you look up Lexmoto, you should be able to find the Vosges brand. But yeah, look at that, that's a lot of bike for £5,000. Now another bike which was very much on my shortlist before I got my MT-09 SP was this, the KTM Duke 890, the 890R. It looks so small and compact in the flesh. Often regarded as a bit of a hooligan machine. Often regarded in the press as having the best handling, being the best handling of all the middleweight nakeds. That wonderful WP suspension. We've got Brembo 4 pots at the front as well. What's your opinion of the KTM 890? Just across from the Duke 890R we have the standard 890, which is revised latter part of 2021 going into 2022. We've got a slightly larger engine in the standard Duke now, 890, from 790 to 100 extra cc's. The bike has just been refined a little bit. And what I love about this particular Duke is the practicality of it. It is a very upright bike. As you can see, this gentleman on there at the moment, it's got a really well working pillion seat with a big huge grab rail if you want to take a passenger on the back. I think for me, if I was going to get one of these, I would definitely, don't know, would I change the exhaust? Maybe put that carbon Akrapovic system they have on it. But it does look really cool. The engine size, it's an 890, but the engine looks tiny. It's like such a small, compact bike. Just walking through the KTM stand here, and I've noticed this. And I thought at first it might have been a trick or kind of a one-off, but no, this is the KTM RC 390. All yours for just over £5,500, so a 390cc. Let's bring around these gentlemen here. Look at this. It looks super cool. We've got adjustable suspension here, lovely bubble screen. We Adonized parts. Look at this. This is a really quite cool bike. Small, compact. I don't know much about this bike. What does it say? It says here. So 44 brake horsepower, 37 newton meters of torque. It's a single cylinder 4-stroke. So this would be a barrel of laughs out on the twisty roads. Look at this. I love this kind of enlarged clear part of the fairing at the front. That looks super exciting. Harley Davidson stand. Let's walk through the Harley Davidson stand. There's something so signature cool about the Harley Davidson. This is the Sportster S. Yours for £14,000. 121 brake horsepower, 125 newton meters of torque, 1250 cc engine. Look at that. I've never ridden Harley Davidson myself, but it's always on the bucket list, I think. Everyone has to ride a Harley, don't you? This is the Fat Bob 114. Look at the size of that front tire. The Fat Boy 114, look at that. Look at the chrome, look at the glistening. Oh. So just been having a nice chat with a gentleman from Harley Davidson here and hoping to get some Harleys on the channel in 2022. Perhaps starting with this, a Sportster S. Stunning looking bike. Swinging my leg over it just felt a bit like the Bobber which I recently rode from Triumph. But yes, this is cool. Harley are really breaking new ground in terms of the tech they're doing. I mean, just look at the TFT display which all connects up to your phone. You can navigate with your music and Siri. Yeah, that's a nice looking bike, that. So fingers crossed we can get one of these on the channel soon. Wow, look at that. That is great. I couldn't walk through the Harley Davidson stand without a mention to the Livewire, the bike that was featured on the TV show series The Long Way Up with Ewan and Charlie riding up through Americas. It's all electric Harley. I recently reviewed the Zero SRF and the SRS on the channel and experienced the addictive instant torque that those electric bikes produce. And I've seen a few videos of the Livewire in action, and it does look like an exhilarating bike. The bike which has certainly captured the headlines this year is the Harley Davidson Pan America 1250 Special with its adjustable ride height option, semi-active suspension. There's certainly a big focus in the headlines this year for off-road touring bikes, adventure bikes. We've had the brand new Triumph Tiger release just in the past few weeks. The Tiger 1200 announced to the world. And here we have Harley with the Pan America. It just looked like a really cool bike with its awesomely signature front headlamp. It's awesome. It looks American, doesn't it? It looks so cool, that front end. All yours for about £15,500. Again, it's a decent price tag, but you get so much bike. Let's take a look through the green stand. The Kawasaki stand here at Motorcycle Live, decked out with all these green and black machines. The ZH2 right here. Look at this, with that supercharged engine. Here's a bike from Kawasaki which made a few headlines, the new Z650. So we're taking all that styling from the Z900. We've got ourselves a really affordable, fun twin. £7,500 gets you this very classic looking Z650. This will be a great bike to review on the channel. I think this will be a hugely popular bike for Kawasaki, I'm sure. Bit of classic styling, a bit of bit of classic styling to the range. Kawasaki do like their big, aggressive sports bike green machines, so it's good to see some nice Z styling here. We've got this wonderful teardrop tank here, which is very familiar on the Z900 RS, and very similar tail unit as well. LED lighting, it looks really well put together. The Z650 RS. Yeah, this looks like it'll be a really good bike for a lot of people. Now this is an all-out favorite for me, the Z900 RS. As you might know, my good father, my dad, has one of these in the garage. I do believe we have new colour schemes for 2022 as well. It's wonderful metallic blue. I love this bike. What a wonderfully put together, classic looking machine. And we have I think we have a very dark green. It probably is a bit bright green on the screen here on the video, but in the flesh, that's a very dark, it's almost black, metallic green finish with the white stripes. And for 2022, we've got the blue with the yellow. But yeah, this always draws a bit of a crowd, this bike. Wonderful inline 4. I reviewed the cafe version a couple of years ago, which is a bike which loves to rev. That 900, you drop it down and that bike just loves to, the engine just loves to spin up and make an awesome sound, even with the stock pipes. Here we have a bike which is very much made its name as the definitive learner sports bike. It does have a slightly heftier price tag. We're talking about just over £5,000, the 125 Ninja. Let's just have a look. Yeah, it's about £5,000, but you get a bike with all this Kawasaki racing DNA. It looks awesome. It looks so well put together. Lovely little carbon effects here on the exhaust, on this Arrow exhaust we've got fitted. And I do believe, does it come with built-in? It comes with built-in frame sliders. That's such a cool touch. Yeah, the Kawasaki Ninja 125. Look at that. Now, certainly in 2021, the manufacturer that's been so generous to me in terms of helping me with bikes and using bikes is Triumph. They've been absolutely wonderful in loaning me bikes to ride and review for you. There's so many familiar faces on this stand today. One I've not ridden though is a Scrambler 1200. The Bonneville Gold line. Obviously this is a limited edition for this year. I think they're going to be producing these for 1 year in total, but all of these hand painted, beautiful hand painted details on these Gold line edition Bonnevilles. Let's just bring it across. We've got a Thruxton here. I've not ridden a Thruxton. Would love to ride a Thruxton. T120 black again with the Gold line. It's wonderful Gold line detailing. Let's bring it around here. Obviously the bobber. This featured on the channel. Just finished my review of the bobber. Again, took me by surprise. A bike which looks very laid back and, you know, relaxed, a cruising machine, but when you put your hands to those bars and you're stretching, you're going around corners, sticking your elbows out, sticking your shoulder over, it's a really cool riding experience. Definitely go sit in one, definitely go ride one. And here we have the all-new, recently revealed Tiger 1200. This is the Rally Pro. Just across from there we have the GT, the road-going version of the Tiger. Rebuilt from the ground up from Triumph. It's a wonderful triple T-plane shaft drive. A bike which Triumph compared to the BMWs, the GS's, and went out to just beat that in terms of stats, performance, weight, price, everything. They kind of threw the kitchen sink at the development of this bike to make it as competitive as possible. It does look like a very exciting machine. The all-terrain Rally Pro, and let's bring it across to the GT Pro. Tiger GT Pro, £16,700, but you get an absolute, a mile muncher, a continent munching machine. Yeah, I've just put my leg over the 1200 RR. Obviously it's a very busy, there's a lot of people queuing up to sit on this bike. Yeah, it feels super aggressive. I'm going to say it feels actually a little bit more comfortable compared to the Thruxton, which also has those signature drop bars. Just feel a bit more comfy than that. So I'm going to be really excited to try and get my leg over one of these next year. What a beautiful bike. So there we have the highlights from Motorcycle Live 2022. I do hope you've enjoyed this quick video. If you have, give a thumbs up to support the channel. If you're new around here, then please make sure to subscribe to see more motorcycle and bikey content. I've been Eddie Set Go. Hope you ride safe and stay safe. I'll see you next time.